Alright guys, today we are going to go over the Season 7 Marvel Rivals patch notes. So let's see everything that's different with the new season. First of all, this is one of the seasons where we have some global changes. So these are changes to the entire game, not just to certain characters. So the change rate for ultimate abilities has been nerfed across the board. Our aim is to keep the core combat fun and dynamic, while dialing back those rapid fire ultimates. This will also lower the baseline strength of triple strategist compositions without compromising the core combat experience. Based on game data, around 80% of ultimate ability energy comes from damage or healing conversion. That means the charge rate reduction is nearly equal for Vanguards, Duelists, and Strategists at about 20% drop across the board. This keeps the playing field balanced and ensures your big moves feel earned. So, Vanguards and Duelists, they reduce damage to energy conversion from 90 to 70%. And they reduced passive ultimate ability charge from 12 per second to 11 per second. They reduced for Strategists healing to energy to 90 to 75%. And passive from, whoa, that's a big change, dude. 12 to 8 seconds. So, how do I feel about this? I am actually quite happy because if what they're aiming is to make triple support less viable, because it's just a healing battle at that point. I think this will make the game much more skill, and the characters who are just ult farmers, it'll be harder to just ult farm. So ults can't just win the game. It's more skill and strategy, and I like that a lot. I think this conversion's fair. This conversion, it's drastic from that conversion. So they actually have to heal to get ult charge. And overall, you have to be much more strategic in using your ult now, because it's going to be a lot less common for you to have an ult because of this conversion rate. And overall, I think this is good for the game. I think it's going to be a healthy change. Everyone's going to notice it, and you're going to have to start playing differently. Yeah, no more spamming ults. You got to actually start strategizing with your ults and using them at critical moments. Great change. This is probably the best change I've seen in the game for a while. All right, so Angela, we're going to go on to Vanguard changes first. So Angela, Heaven Sent Pressure, Grounded Precision. Angela is fiercer on the ground but less pesky in flight. Her ultimate ability, damage, and control have been slightly hit. So this is a nerf, it sounds like. So they reduced her Seraphic Soar attack charge to Spear of Icarus conversion from 45 to 35, and they increase bonus damage at full charge from 15 to 20. So overall, this is just going to make her charge for the full charge attack when she's flying just slower. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just going to read everything first. So they increased shielded stance damage to charge conversion from 25 to 35. Increase Assassin's charge cooldown from 3 to 6. Reduce max recharge time from 10 to 8 seconds. Increase Axes of Icarus bonus health to self from 40 to 50 and from 20 to 25 for allies after landing Divine Judgment. And they increase Heaven's Retribution, her ultimate ability, damage from 10 to 40. That's pretty big. Reduce spear health from 800 to 650. That's also very big. Yeah, definitely a nerf. I really don't think the conversion rate on her flight to get her charge up needed to be nerfed. This shield thing, I'm not really sure how much of a change that's going to do. I personally don't use the shield that often when I'm playing Angela. That cooldown on the charge is going to be very noticeable. 3 to 6 seconds. You got to wait 6 seconds before you can charge again. That's very big, very big. Yeah, overall, it looks like she's going to do more damage. So her ult's going to be a little better. I don't actually know, though. I feel like the damage wasn't even what it, like, I mean, obviously needed more damage, but this thing that, like, held them there, they made it a lot less health. And that's the thing that I thought was more crucial. So Overall, a nerf for Angela. All right, Captain America. Now a little smoother when running up on your left. Cap's shield work also gets smoother during sprints, but his ultimate gives a little less energy. I don't know if they nerfed him. It sounds like a nerf. When leading dash is set to toggle, Captain America's last 4 ranged Sentinel Strike shield throws won't be interrupted by leading dash. No, dude. Dude, this is all Captain America mains had was the animation cancel. They removed his animation cancel? This is not a good thing. The interruption is what made him do any damage, period. Now he is literally just a fucking useless tank. He's a fucking stall tank. Dude, this is terrible. This is terrible news for Captain America mains. He's already not a good character, and they just fucking made him worse. Alright. Reduce Freedom Charge, his ultimate ability, energy charge effect for allies from 30 to 20. So they just made his ult worse as well. Increase the damage dealt by the first 2 hits of Sentinel Strike from 40 to 45. Dude, this doesn't even matter. They made his fucking combo offline. An extra 5 damage is not going to make up for that. Now when Cap brawls up close, his melee attacks will not dish out the same damage as the final 4 hits of his shield throw combo. By weaving melee strikes with his leading dash ability, players can maintain that classic fluid combo feel without sacrificing close quarters damage. Plus, paired with our previous tweaks. I don't know, dude. I don't even know what this means. To me, it sounds like he can't really animation cancel that well. But Captain America mains, let me know. What does this mean? What does this mean? Overall, I think this is a nerf, though. I'm not gonna lie. Just from reading that. Some of the language is hard to understand. All right, Deadpool as a Vanguard. The hardiest merc takes a breath. Survivability and ultimate frequency are slightly nerfed to match the new ultimate efficiency. So they reduced Deadpool in your area. Vanguard upgraded damage reduction from 40 to 30, so it's a nerf. And yeah, cooldown up. That makes sense. They're trying to make ults less spammable. That's a fair nerf. Doctor Strange. The shield bends slightly. The Sorcerer Supreme's defenses are slightly dialed down. So his shield health is 700 instead of 800. That's fair. That's fine to me. Diamond or Emma's Frost. Diamond hard choices. Deadlier payoffs. The White Queen's diamond form dims a bit, but Emma's ultimate shines brighter. Okay. So they reduced diamond form reduction from damage reduction from 25 to 20. That's definitely going to be noticeable. They adjust psionic seduction damage fall off at 30 meters from 50 to 70. Gain 20% damage reduction during this ability. I'd imagine they're saying it does more damage because they said the ultimate shines brighter. So I guess it does more damage. Honestly, her ult was never even crazy for doing damage. It was more so like hypnotizing them so everyone else can just kill them off. But, alright. They reduced diamond form cooldown. That's really good. Increase the recovery rate for that for 70 to 80 seconds. Okay, well, that's good. I'd say this is overall good for Emma. Hulk. Puny cooldowns. The big green disruptor is even better at charging his ultimate. Smash with style. Increase indestructible guard absorb damage to ultimate ability charge conversion rate from 100 to 130. Holy dude, that's crazy. Gamma burst gains 2 charges. He has 2 charges now for his fucking clap, I think, the stun. That's really good. Reduce single hit damage from so less damage, and reduce gamma burst cooldown from each use from 6 to 2. Overall, this is a definitely really good buff for Hulk. Having the 2 fucking claps is nutty. Magneto. Master Magnetism, Master of the Lane. Magneto gets slightly tougher in lane pressure and deadlier with his ultimate. Let's go. Magneto's ultimate is so fun, dude. So, increase middle bulwark cooldown from 12 to 15. And reduce arm bulwark cooldown from 12 to 10. Okay. Okay. And this is the main thing. Increase his meteor from 30 to 45 meters per second. That is big. That is big, dude. 50% increase on the ultimate. This is going to feel good for us Magneto mains. All right, Black Panther. Now we're on the Duelist, guys. Wakanda Forever and faster. T'Challa's abilities off the charts. No cooldown for jumping after detaching from a wall. So they remove the cooldown of the second jump of Subtle Step. Spinning kick new effect. The dash movement is now omnidirectional. That's pretty good. So this is a buff. I don't really know much about Black Panther, but this seems like a buff. And they reduced his spear toss recovery from 6 to 5 seconds. Yeah, this seems like a buff for Black Panther. That's cool. All right, Blade. No funerals for the Daywalker. Blade's up close combat is boosted and his range attacks are slightly snappier. So they increased the shotgun's projectile speed from 150 to 180. They increased Ancestral Sword attack range by 0.5 meters. Bloodlight Awakening new ability. They made it have more lifesteal, 70% instead of 65. And his ultimate now gives lifesteal even when he's not in the Bloodline Awakening effect. Overall, it's a buff. Do I think it's going to make a lot of people play Blade now? Not really. Not really. They just made the lifesteal slightly better. Honestly, it's not that crazy. Daredevil. The devil's in the details in the nerfs. Daredevil's damage and takiness are toned down just a bit. Bro, they nerfed him last fucking season. I guess they're going to keep nerfing him. So his devil chain ended from damage 35 to 25. That's pretty big. Reduced devil chain max health from 125 to 100. And reduced sonic pursuit damage reduction from 20 to 10. Bro, this is a big nerf for big Daredevil, bro. That sucks for Daredevil mains, bro. That really sucks for you Daredevil mains. All right, Deadpool Duelist. Deadpool harder to KO, slower to ult. Survivability slightly up, ultimate frequencies nerfed. And then, so his base health went up 25. That's pretty good for him. And ultimate cooldown went up. All right, that's fine. Elsa Bloodstone. Monster Hunter Reminder Lives also pays a heavier price upon defeat, and her survivability drops a tad. So they reduce Instinct lost upon defeat from 1 stack to 2 stack. And then reduce Ruthless Pursuit and Helix Advanced bonus health from 40 to 30. Overall, she just has less bonus health. I think that's fair. The bonus health was kind of crazy. Hawkeye. The Earth's mightiest marksman takes a hit to his survivability. So he has 250 health instead of 275. I think that's fair. I think it's fair for his character, to be honest. I think 250 health is fair. Flame on, downtime off for this Human Torch. I already know what this does. His ammo automatically instant recovers all if you don't use it for like a second. Yeah, that's what it does. That's very good for Human Torch, man. Iron Man. Systems online, overclock stabilize, Tony staying power and ability field get a boost. Armor overdrive new effect. Each KO while armor overdrive is... Oh, that's cool. So every time he gets a kill while armor overdrive, he gets an extra 2 seconds in the mode. That's cool. And it takes less time to start it. 0.5 seconds less to start armor overdrive. That's good. Oh, my main magic. All right, let's see what's going on with magic. So... Sharper feel, fairer poke. Ileana's poke capacity has been slightly reduced, but enjoys smoother ability execution. So, Umbral Incursion, her dash, they increased the hitbox from 1 meter. Oh, that's so good. I was actually testing this out in the practice range. It is like a massive difference. So, it's going to be so much easier to hit the dash guys, which is a big, big buff for magic. They reduced normal form magic / max damage. Ratio from 2 to 1.8. That's a big change, dude. I'm not gonna lie. 90 damage to 81. This is her slash, so when she her ranged attack. Dude, this is pretty big. This is pretty big. They reduced the startup time to ult from her, how to become Darkchild from 1 second to 0.8. That's gonna be noticeable. Dude, overall, I think this is a buff for magic mains. Honestly, though, I don't know. Because you could argue, this dash, magic mains have this, the fucking form unlock for hitting the dash. If anything, this, reducing time to ult thing is helpful. But, magic mains already know. You gotta, be behind a wall when you start the ult. So you just don't die immediately. This damage fall off, or... max damage from the slash is big though. I feel like I'm gonna feel this in my games because this is how you get you finish a lot of kills in your combo sometimes, or finish off someone in the air. That's pretty tough. Overall, though, I think this is a pretty balanced change. I'm not really happy, though, when my main does less damage. Ever. So, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. Psylocke. Butterfly power. Psylocke's combat compatibility is slightly increased. They increased her psionic crossbow cooldown reduction to other abilities. So, when she hits her primary, her other abilities will... You'll get them back faster. And then they increased the shuriken's damage to 9 instead of 8. Okay, that's fine. That seems fine to me. Alright. Scarlet Witch. Close up chaos, mid-range management. Damage at close and mid-range is more balanced. Her chaos control is more damage. And I don't know. Alright, so Chaos Control has a damage fall off starting at 10 meters, dropping at 90% at max range, increased base damage from... So Chaos Control does more damage. I think that's just this click and hold. And the Chthonian Burst, which is her like ball she throws. I don't know, the charge increased. So I guess she can throw her little balls faster. Alright. Winter Soldier, less splash, more mash. This is a big one. His primary does less damage from 65 to 55. That's a really big change. He can't 3-shot, body shot like 250 health characters. I know that anyway. So that's a big change for Winter Soldier. Finally a nerf for Winter Soldier, by the way. Alright, Strategist. We got Gambit. He's getting nerfed again. They made his ult last 2 seconds less. I think that's fair. His ult is crazy good, and they're trying to make ults less prevalent. So I think that's a good change for Gambit. Deadpool Strategists. Yeah, they just made the ult last longer. They did that to every Deadpool. That's fine. Gambit. Wait, Gambit again. Hold on, what? So they made his ult worse. Wait, team buffs redealt. Remy's ultimate buff for the team are toned down. Okay, so his ult doesn't... Okay, this makes sense because they're trying to make ults less prevalent. So they made the buff to ult charge go from 30 to 20% when Gambit ults. Movement boost went from 50 to 40. And then they made it... You could do 5% more damage. This is definitely still a nerf because the main thing that made his ult so good was everyone else getting their ult so much faster and the movement boost. The damage boost was not that crazy. So this is definitely a big nerf for Gambit, bro. Invis Woman. Less healing in the fray, better reset out of it. Sue's self-healing during combat is nerfed. But Sue's self-healing during combat is nerfed, but her out-of-combat recovery gets a boost. So, her Guardian Shield, that's a big change. Her Guardian Shield, which is her shield she can put on herself, goes from 25 health per second to 15. That's massive. And then they put that extra 10 into her Covert Advance, which is when she goes invisible. So, she'll heal more when she goes invisible, not as much when she shields herself. I think that's fair. Luna Snow, idle power, now snowballing. They give her another fucking buff, like always. Let's see. Well, she got a new effect, so that's just a buff. Reduce Ice Art's cooldown by 2 seconds whenever a hero with idle aura takes part in a KO. Okay, so whenever you like get the snowflake on someone and they get a kill, I think your stun goes down by 2 seconds. That's actually really good if that's what that is. Team up abilities. Adam and Luna, they made it. What did they change? Oh, they removed it. They removed Adam and Luna, and they removed Jeff Nato. New, we got White Fox and Luna. White Fox is Luna's like girlfriend, so that makes a lot of sense. So White Fox is the anchor. She gets 10% in healing. Luna gets Spirit, like some new ability, Spirit Fox Accord.
Luna, Snow, and White Fox's new team up is awesome. It allows Luna to launch a Spirit Fox in a straight line, healing allies as well as damaging enemies and causing them to be pulled towards Luna.
Luna's like, her new ability like lets you push him in, does damage, does healing. That's actually pretty solid all around, I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty solid all around. And then also Storm and Adam. So Adam can gains Heavenly Harmony ability through his team up with Storm. All right, that's pretty cool. I've seen I'll show you.
Team up in Season 7 because Adam Warlock gains a new effect for his flight ability that leaves behind a trail of gold smoke that heals allies inside it and gives them a speed boost.
Dude, this fucking trail of gold smoke looks like Adam just ripped a fucking some fat ass, bro. That's all that looks like. Does not look good. It's a good ability though, all in all. So guys, those are all of the Season 7 patch notes. Let me know if you're happy with them. Let me know if you're not happy with them. Me as a Magic main, I think the Magic changes are fair. Not really happy about the damage being reduced, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I really like the change to the meta. So less ults charge coming from damage, from healing. Big fan of that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And that's about it. See ya.